Thank you. And sacrificial lamb, I'm going to get a t-shirt actually soon that says that. 5 minutes is what we've been given, and for me to do anything in 5 minutes is difficult, so this is a great exercise. I'm going to just move really fast. So the question was, what Interactive's creative revolution means to me. And, as usual, I have more than 5 minutes worth of thoughts for that question. Sometimes it can mean chaos, despair, confusion, animosity, alarm, friction, and just a general feeling of heavy lifting, because at the moment, I'm in the integration business. Have you guys we good for my slides? Got it. And I have to say, the revolution never before felt like the operational or corporate burden than it does right now. Although we strive for ROI and accountability and reach, advertising's always been a cultural business. So I think I have to look beyond thoughts of the transition and business models to really understand what it is that I'm feeling. And I wanted to get my mind away from the output side of the equation. It means consumers empowered, data connectivity, all of that's true. But it occurred to me that it's really about a cultural revolution that has left us in a position where the public has changed its mindset so fundamentally that our profession has to change. So, let's follow the chain of events that leads to a group of people so fundamentally changing. You got those? Until one day, the chain of events hits that link when nothing is the same. Now, I wouldn't be in advertising if I didn't kind of look at what's around me and parse it into, some kind of lens that give you back an answer to your question. I've been thinking a lot about Mad Men. Not because it's about what I do, but because it's about what I live now, and because the scripts from the boardroom are identical to the ones in my boardroom and yours, and they're all a kind of truth. Oh, we need our sound there.
Here's your job, the shows and the ads.
Advertising is based on one thing: happiness. And you know what happiness is? Happiness is the smell of a new car. It's freedom from fear. It's a billboard on the side of the road that screams with reassurance that whatever you're doing, it's okay. You are okay.
You see this yet?
I have. They must be getting results. They keep going back to the well.
No chrome, no horsepower, foreign, ugly. Guess I went with their strengths.
It is funny. It is? Because I think the joke's on us. You're supposed to look at that and say it's a great car, not a great ad.
I laughed. I think it's brilliant.
Brilliant. I'll tell you what brilliance in advertising is, 99 cents. Somebody thought of that, Campbell.
Well, say what you want, love it or hate it. The fact remains, we've been talking about this for the last 15 minutes. This is Playboy.
I've just moved here. I'm a stranger in a strange land. But I can tell you that there's definitely something going on.
We'll look into it.
So let's face it, the advertising revolution in the 60s was a direct result of the Cultural Revolution. Advertising sat in the middle of the culture of a society that had been irrevocably changed by what had gone on around them. People had been rewired. Oops, there we go. Frank Rich did a great little piece in the Times about Woodstock being trunked by Mad Men and why it was more relevant. His quote was, "Mad Men is about the dawn of a new era, and we too are at such a dawn. We're uncertain and worried about what comes next," as they were in Mad Men. We're at 1963. They don't even know that this is just around the corner yet. And guess what? We've been rewired again. We learn things not through a tagline or a lockup anymore. We learn things by having an experience. That's what the internet and network communities have done to us. Social media and crowdsourcing is the way we work now, but that's not really the future of advertising. It's where we are right now as a society trying to work together, and that behavior has changed the way that we process information. We expect to be in the middle of things, core to making them happen, not watching from the sidelines. Revolution means our baggage and our rewiring. have to come together with abandoning our past, re-examining what makes people care about something. And now with social media, Twitter, blogs, Facebook, even the New York Times gives individuals the ability to share in shaping a message. The audience's passion and effort can overrun any paid advertising budget. It's not about getting online and fighting with consumers over owning the positioning of a brand, really, though we've been experimenting with that all year, and I think it's important that we take on these skills and we learn them so that they add into the things that we do. But I think it's about doing something for the public that they can't do for themselves. And if you had an hour, I'd tell you why it had to be the Beatles that did this, but that's for another time. So if everyone can make a 30-second spot, well then, let's move on. Take them somewhere they want to go. Immerse them in something that being part of makes them feel like it's okay. I haven't slept in days because I've been obsessed with this game. Go ahead, keep it playing, I won't talk over it. So this is no longer about, standing in front of a game and just playing some tunes. You can see you're in the studio, you're on the rooftop, you're on the plane, you're playing a story and following it through and tangibly, physically taking part in an experience. We actually have running at my house 4 guitars, 4 mics, drums, 3-part harmonies. And this comes forward in a time when everybody's telling us that our jobs are going to be outsourced to the crowd. But I think we can actually craft objects that are solid and whole and developed by us, single-sourced. We just can't do it the way that we used to. So it's 2009. The Beatles are back. What's interesting about this, if you read, there's a great piece in the Times about the amount of craft that went into it, all the re-recording, all the different remixes. The fan has become an active part of this process in the service of teasing out the intricacies of studio productions. And this could be a brief, not having an outlet for an innate urge that they feel. Because I think we're sort of, the answer becomes about product plus an insight plus craft, not a line, not a lockup. This is actually a beautiful ad for Apple Corp and the re-release. $45 game for $175 remastered set of Beatles tunes that maybe nobody cares about. It's not open sourced. It was driven by a vision. It did have a lot of visions integrated into it and a lot of different teams involved in solving problems and creating. You can't really share it. You can't really comment it from inside of it. You can't change it and you can't download it. It's about pure craft to the most minuscule detail. Has a belief and a point of view. It's a vision. It'll sell discs, DVDs, memoirs, paraphernalia. It's a fucking ad. It's a product. It's a utility. It's a scratching of the I only believe in it if I'm part of it itch. So this is what the internet's creative revolution means to me. Connectivity, social media, interactive, it's all really, really, really important. In the same way, and I'm glad that you said we talked about, direct mail and word of mouth and in-store trialing, but it is not our destination. We have to stop making old things in new places. Technology is not something that someone comes in with a list and tells you what the things are that you can deal with. Technology is a creative craft. It's the making of something so very immense that it almost goes to the edge of being film-like, which is what apparently we all were striving to do in the 90s. And I think that we have to stop just trying to hit ROI and we have to be historic. And it's all right in front of us if we just stop being madmen.